Good evening. How's everybody doing tonight? Hope everybody had a good day. Had a good day. Had a relaxing day. It wasn't a slow day, but I only had to meet with a few people today, so today went rather smoothly. Um, Pretty normal day at work, which was good. Typically Mondays can be chaotic at work, so it was nice for a little bit of a change today. Um, wasn't too bad. Welcome, Joy. Glad you're doing good. Hopefully, you've got your tinfoil hat on as you're watching. Protect yourself from things I may throw out at you. Since you're not that far, they may get you. I'm glad you guys are in here. There you go. Spend some time with that. I seen that picture. That's awesome. It's a blessing of recovery being able to spend time with your loved ones, family, that 5G. I hear you. Especially your dad. That's something. There's a little bit of regret there for me because I didn't get to do that. But I'm proud of you. That's awesome, freaking awesome. But yeah, I had a good day. I hope you guys all had a good day. We're gonna talk about some self pity tonight. Many of you guys are part of the shitty committee and the poor me committee, and it's dangerous. Um, it's a choice. It's a choice whether we sit in it or we move on, and we choose recovery. Hopefully, I'm going to bring up a reading that I found on it today. You guys probably already know where I'm going, but we're going to start there, and I'm going to go on from there and give you guys my twist on it. If you guys want to throw some of your struggles with self pity, things that you may struggle with in regards to the reading, drop it in the comments. I'd love to see it. Um, Addie's here helping me because I can't see the chat or focus on the chat. Can't do two things at one time, especially on here, but that's okay. Let me bring up the reading here real quick. Self pity, or recovery. It is a choice, guys. Self pity is one of the most destructive of defects. Those defects of character. It'll drain us all of our positive energy. And if that ain't the truth, as an active addiction, many of us use self pity as a survival mechanism that we didn't believe that there was an alternative to living in our disease. Or perhaps we didn't want to believe it. Says as long as we could feel sorry for ourselves or blame somebody else for our troubles, says we didn't have to accept the consequences of our actions. That we didn't have to accept the consequences of our actions, believing ourselves powerless to change. Can't do it. I just can't possibly change. I'm just going to blame everybody for the shitty decisions and actions that I'm doing. Says we didn't have to accept that need or change. It's a survival mechanism, guys. It says it kept us from entering recovery, led us closer day by day. It says it kept us from entering recovery day by day. To self destruction, closer and closer every day to just self destruction and complete chaos. Says self pity is a tool of our disease. And we need to stop using it and learn instead to use the new tools that we're learning and finding in recovery. We have to come to believe that effective help is available for us. Some of us seek that help in a 12-step program. Self pity is displaced with gratitude. That is the antidote right there, is gratitude. I'll get to that in a minute. There's many tools are at our disposal: 12-step programs, support groups, sponsorship, mentors, uh, other recovering addicts. That powerful tool I talk about in our toolbox, that lived experience, the care of our higher power. The availability of these tools is more than enough for reasons to be grateful, to have gratitude. Says we no longer have to live in isolation. Says without hope. How many of you guys have felt hopeless? You know, I did. Says we have certain help at hands for anything that we may face. So when life shows up, those tools are always going to be there. And gratitude is a big one to use every day. Says our surest way to become grateful is to take advantage of the help that's available to us in recovery and experience the improvement that it will bring to our lives. Gratitude has definitely increased my life in my attitude of gratitude daily, day in and day out, the more I practice it. So I will cultivate my recovery and stop cultivating self pity. Quit beating yourself up. Quit pumping quarters in that ass kicking machine. How many times have I said that? You guys are all worth it, and you guys can definitely do it. Um, and I tell you what, self pity's dangerous, guys. It's super dangerous. It stops us. It stops us from growing. It stops us from healing. Um, Keeps us self-centered. All about us. We know everything. Our brain's already wired when we're using and we're in active addiction. With those negative, they call it negative bias, but it's that as negative thoughts and behaviors, that stinking thinking. And we still have that to get through, even in recovery, even when our brains are clearing out, or our mind and our body is clearing out of the substances that we were abusing for so long. We don't recover from all that overnight. It takes time. I'm still healing from it a year and a half later. It's gotten a lot better. And it's gotten a lot easier. The longer we stay in recovery, the easier it gets. Um, you know, when we're stuck in that self pity and that negative thinking, we're at a much larger risk for anxiety and depression. Um, I always focused on the negative, not the positive. I don't know about you guys, but I was Nancy negative. Um, and I was stuck. I mean, the depression and the isolation for me was absolutely horrendous. Because I was playing that victim role all the time. I wasn't owning my own shit. I was always pushing it off on someone else. Welcome, Tanya. I had to step out of that victim role and own my shit and take responsibility for my actions. And it took me a long time to realize that. Um, Self pity and that negative attitude, you're just all around in a higher risk for just that negative attitude and stinking thinking and behaviors. And it's all to escape the pain and the struggles and whatever it is that you're going through. Um, that's why I did it. I did it to cover everything up. That's why I used, because I didn't want to feel it. I didn't want to face life on life's terms. And the solution to the self pity is definitely gratitude. Um, Focusing on the positive in the day and not the negative. Um, you know, Try to focus. It actually helps us. When you have that attitude of gratitude, I know for me personally, um, my emotions and my thoughts and my behaviors, my reactions to situations, if I'm already in a better mood or I'm in that attitude of gratitude, they have a tendency to be better reactions. Um, my thought process is more clear. I'm not pissed off. I'm not aggravated. That helps. That protects us against the stress and the anxiety and the depression that self pity brings on when we're already in a more positive mindset. Um, it helps us have a better connection with people around us, people that love and care about us. Um, it's just makes it easier to communicate with people when you're already in a good mood and you're already grateful and you're smiling and you're laughing. For me, it's easier to be more compassionate and understanding towards other people when I'm listening to them, or even when I'm speaking to them and listening to some of their struggles. I can focus more and pay better attention. Um, you know, and it also helps with something that I struggle with a lot. Not being as critical on yourself, beating yourself up over flaws or imperfections, inadequacies, things that I continue to pump quarters in because I'm hard on myself. I'm my own worst critic. So at times I still do pour me myself to death because of the trauma and the shit that I've experienced for the last 20 years. It's they say in these 12-step programs, it's practice, not perfection, and I'm getting better at it, but I'm nowhere near perfect, guys. I don't know about you guys, but it's sometimes it's easier said than done. Because of those past traumas. Um, you know, some are worse than others. Mine's been pretty bad, but it has gotten better, and the people that love and care about me and that are around me all the time, I know have noticed it. I have noticed. I know they have. We just got to keep working on it. Try to get over that shame and that guilt. That attitude of gratitude helps with so many things other than self pity. It's just amazing. I could go on and on and on about having that attitude of gratitude daily and how healing it is and how much it would improve your quality of life daily, day in and day out by just trying to focus on the good and not the bad. For me, it increased my motivation, my will to get out of bed. For the isolators out there that are listening that like to lock yourself in your room and not come out, especially when you're in active addiction, social anxiety, some of these fears of being out in public and being around a bunch of people. Um, I was one of those people. So it's still a little uncomfortable for me to go shopping and go to malls and go around a bunch of people because of the inadequacies and, the self pity and the fears and the things that I struggle with. But the attitude of gratitude helps. It definitely helps, and it does increase my motivation to keep pushing, and to keep moving forward and trying to better myself day in and day out. It's helping me with that willingness to continue on and to move forward and not revert back to those old thoughts and behaviors and actions that I was accustomed to and that I had become pretty comfortable with, guys. I really did. It had gotten to a point where when I was working and I was using at the same time, I dreaded getting out of bed to go to work because all I wanted to do was use and stay home, shut the blinds, and lock the door and hide from everybody. But I still had to come out because I would run out and then I would freak out. And you guys already know. I don't have to explain what happens next. You all know. It's that lived experience. I think a lot of you guys have been there and done that. So yeah, attitude of gratitude. It's an effective tool. Get out of that self pity. It's super destructive. It's a horrible character defect, but it's one that I still have to work on and I struggle with at times, but not nearly as bad as I used to. I'm glad everybody's in here tonight. I hope everybody had a great evening. I know I did. Mondays are my night where I usually go on a little later because Addie participates in her recovery from about 7 to 8 o'clock Eastern in a Zoom meeting. So I get to kick back and listen to an Al Anon meeting and listen to the ladies and sometimes men in the meeting share their experience, strength, and hope kind of from the other side of the table, which is an amazing thing. Yeah, I mean, I see some of your guys' comments, and I know self pity. We all struggle with it, guys. I don't think there's anyone out there doesn't deal with it in one way, shape, or form. And it's just the awareness and trying to focus on that attitude of gratitude and turning it over to something greater than ourselves. That definitely helps. And I know the days and the mornings that I wake up with that attitude of gratitude and I'm not in a bad mood. Um, my day has a tendency to go a lot better. And just remember, if you happen to wake up and you're having a bad day, again, you have a choice to hit that reset button and start your day over. It's your choice whether you sit in your own shit or not. Addie, positive affirmations. I spoke about that earlier too. It's something that we talk about. We both talk about this all the time. She's big on it, and she's gotten me big on it. Um, I've talked about the notes on our bathroom wall time and time again. I give you a tour, but I don't think you guys want to see my bathroom. But we for real have positive affirmations all over our bathroom wall. And it really, really helps. I thought it was silly. I had heard it time and time again. I had counselors and rehabilitation center here locally in Dayton recommend doing it while I was even in treatment. So when we woke up, we had that attitude of gratitude. There you go. I am loved. See, I love seeing that kind of stuff because I struggle with saying that still to this day. That's awesome, Joy. And those are the type of things that we need to keep telling ourselves. And I love seeing that because that's exactly what I'm talking about, and that's something that I have to practice myself daily. I appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. I hope you guys have an amazing week. Anticipating your recovery, remain positive, keep that attitude of gratitude. I love you guys. I will talk at you guys tomorrow night. Friday, as of tonight, Friday is a go. I'm having Zach on 8 o'clock Eastern. I changed all the flyers. Hopefully he got through the things that he was dealing with. I spoke to him tonight. So far we got a green light for Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, Zachar, California. Going to be our unfiltered, unplugged, raw, uncut, Dayton Strong Recovery 101 live stream. It's going to be fun, guys. I hope you guys can make it. If not, you can watch it on YouTube or Facebook. I love you guys. Share the stream. The more we share, the more we help. I love you. We'll talk to you guys later. Good night.